Morning and thank you for joining us today. We are pleased to present our interim financial results for the 6 months ended 31st August 2025. This presentation will be available on our website later today. We will begin the presentation with our operational performance. Yolanda will then present the financials, and I will close with industry-related matters and outlook. There will be an opportunity for questions at the end of the presentation. With reference to previous announcements, SS Mozambique remains as held for sale. Therefore, the results for the current and comparative period reflect continuing and discontinued operations. On 31st October 2025, the Group successfully concluded a new 5-year term facility with Standard Bank. The proceeds from this facility were utilized in full to settle the existing loan with the lender group, thereby bringing the restructuring plan to a close. I shall now cover the key indicators for continuing operations. Contract revenue increased slightly to 3.7 billion. Operating profit increased by 22% to 161 million at an operating profit margin of 4.4%. The Group's current order book has increased by 51% to 13.4 billion. The growth in the order book is through deliberate strategic positioning. The Group secured several key contracts off the back of improved tender conversion rates and long-term client relationships. Our focused bidding approach continues to pay off. The order book reflects long-term contractual commitments extending over multiple financial years. Cash on hand decreased from 470 million to 336 million, mainly due to cash consumed by operations, finance costs, and income taxes paid for the period. Yolanda will discuss this in more depth in her presentation. I will now cover the operational performance of the Group's 4 regions. Inland region delivered another strong performance, with contract revenue and operating profit increasing by 34% and 89% respectively to 2 billion and 153 million. This being an operating profit margin of 7.5%. The primary reason for this result is the successful execution of the order book. Inland employs 3,211 people across all of its disciplines. The order book is 4.6 billion, of which 1.4 billion is for 2026, 2.1 billion for 2027, and 1.1 billion thereafter. There are short-term potential awards of 2.9 billion and future opportunities of 34 billion. 95% of revenue is generated from the private sector. The region was recognized in the Best Project Awards as a highly commended specialist contractor for the multidisciplinary NH3 project for Sasol, entailing the construction of a new 8,800 cubic meter double carbon steel wall low pressure cold storage ammonia tank. Coastal region reported a decrease in contract revenue to 827 million, with an increased operating profit of 44 million at an operating profit margin of 5.3%. The decrease in revenue was due to delayed project awards, which are deferred to later years. Coastal employs 1,024 people. The order book is 1.7 billion, of which 600 million is for 2026 and 1.1 billion for 2027. There are short-term potential awards of 4 billion and future opportunities of 26 billion. 63% of the revenue is from the private sector. The following 5 projects won awards at the recent Master Builders KZN Excellence in Construction Health and Safety Awards. N2 Emergency Repairs, West Town Square, Design and Construction of Mbilo Canal, Sappi Weir Reinstatement, and Toyota Flood Mitigation. At the recent FEM Health and Safety Awards for Excellence, the region was recognized and received accolades in the following categories: Best Health and Safety Campaign for I Won't Walk Past, Best Performing Construction Projects, Mpopomeni Wastewater Treatment Works, and Inanda Road BRT Work Package 3. The coastal region was also awarded the overall winning company in recognition of demonstrating an exemplary standard in both excellence in construction and health and safety. Western Cape region had a sluggish reporting period influenced by delayed contract awards, resulting in a decrease in contract revenue and operating profit to 378 million and 20 million respectively, with an operating profit margin of 5.3%. The region has 360 employees. The order book is 3.3 billion, with 500 million for the remainder of 2026, 1.2 billion for 2027, and 1.6 billion thereafter. There are short-term potential awards of 1 billion and future opportunities of 48 billion. 75% of the revenue is generated from the public sector. The region achieved 5-star health and safety gradings from the Master Builders Association Western Cape for their regional office, plant yard, and all active sites. At the Master Builders Association Western Cape Occupational Health and Safety Awards, Paarl Wastewater Treatment Works won first place in both regional and national competitions. Bulk fuel storage tanks and alterations to existing emergency centre at Groote Schuur Hospital won first place regionally. The Africa region has experienced a very difficult reporting period due to delayed awards of significant projects in Zambia and Zimbabwe and challenging market conditions in Botswana, resulting in a significant decrease in contract revenue to 412 million and an operating loss of 7 million. 1,096 people are employed in the region. Africa has managed to secure a robust order book of 3.8 billion, with 600 million for the remainder of this financial year, 1.4 billion for 2027, and thereafter 1.8 billion. With short-term potential awards of 6 billion and future opportunities of 15 billion. 75% of revenue is generated from the private sector. For the 4th consecutive year, Stefanuti Stocks Eswatini was awarded the Temvelo Award for Biodiversity Offset in the construction category. Stefanuti Stocks Zambia was recognized as Construction Company of the Year by AfriSafe for excellence in health, safety, security, and environment across Africa. At the Build Zambia conference, Stefanuti Stocks Zambia received an award for health and safety compliance in the large-scale commercial contractors category. The group delivered another resilient performance for the reporting period. Contract revenue increased slightly to 3.7 billion, with operating profit increasing by 22% to 161 million at an operating profit margin of 4.4%. The group currently employs 5,749 people. The order book significantly increased to 13.4 billion, with 3.1 billion for the remainder of this financial year, 5.8 billion for 2027, and 4.5 billion thereafter. With short-term potential awards of 13.9 billion and future opportunities of 122 billion. 78% of revenue is generated from the private sector and 88% within South Africa. The health and safety of our people remains central to our operations, with preventative measures, training, and accountability structures in place to protect every employee every day, with commitment to zero harm driven from an executive level. There were no fatalities during the reporting period. The group's lost time injury frequency rate is 0.04 and recordable case rate of 0.24. There were no reportable environmental incidents during the period. All ISO certifications were maintained and Level 1 BEE status was retained. Kusile Power Project Update. On the 17th of October 2025, shareholders were advised that the Dispute Adjudication Board issued their subclause 20.4 decision with respect to Claim 5. In terms of the award, Stefanuti Stocks would be entitled to an additional payment of 685 million excluding VAT. Furthermore, both parties would have the right to refer the decision to arbitration. However, in terms of the contract, the decision is binding and must be given effect to, unless and until it is revised by amicable settlement or an arbitral award. In addition, the group submitted its Claim 6 for all delay events after 31st December 2019 via the contractual process. Eskom submitted its delay damages claim for late completion, which the group is defending through the contractual process. Subsequently, Eskom issued a notice of dissatisfaction and indicated that they intend to have the award set aside in totality by the High Court of South Africa. If successful, Claim 5 would need to be referred to arbitration, recommencing the entire claims process. After careful deliberation, the board of Stefanuti Stocks considered it appropriate to approach Eskom with a view of reaching a settlement with respect to Claim 5, Claim 6, and Eskom's delay damages claim. Stefanuti Stocks and Eskom signed a full and final settlement agreement for 580 million excluding VAT, which constitutes a mutual release of any and all actual or potential claims, disputes or entitlements either party may have against the other arising or in connection with the contract. In terms of the settlement agreement, Eskom is obliged to pay the total amount by the 12th of December 2025. By the end of February 2026, Stefanuti Stocks will apply at least 80% of the proceeds from the settlement against the outstanding Standard Bank facility. I would now like to hand you over to Yolanda to present the financials.
Thank you, Russell. Contract revenue of 3.7 billion delivered an improved operating profit of 161 million, compared to 132 million for the prior period, reflecting an operating profit margin of 4.4%. As previously reported, the lenders extended the capital repayment profile of the current loan as well as its duration to 30 June 2026. The group concluded a new 5-year term facility of 850 million with Standard Bank. The current loan with the lender group was settled on 31st October 2025, thereby terminating the historic lender group arrangement and bringing the restructuring plan to a close. Key points of the Standard Bank facility. The facility will be repaid in 19 equal quarterly installments, commencing in February 2026 and continuing until final maturity by August 2030, with an interest-only payment due in November 2025. Interest is payable at the equivalent of the 3-month Johannesburg Interbank average rate or equivalent thereof, plus a margin of 3.5% compounded quarterly. The facility is partially supported by financial guarantees from the group's guarantee providers and a comprehensive security package, and includes financial covenants typical in nature for this type of facility. The term of the facility will result in the liability being apportioned between non-current and current liabilities in the statement of financial position. Additional capital repayments can be made on any installment date, resulting in lower installments over the remaining term of the facility. These repayments will include net funds received from the Kusile Power Project settlement and net proceeds from the disposal of SS Mozambique. With respect to continuing operations, contract revenue has increased slightly to 3.7 billion and was impacted by delayed contract awards in the Western Cape and Africa regions. EBITDA increased to 232 million from 166 million due to an improvement in operating performance. Continuing operations reported a significant increase in operating profit to 161 million. Reduced cash balances over the period resulted in lower investment income of 11 million. Finance cost of 71 million mainly consists of interest paid on the current loan of 48 million compared to 60 million for the comparative period. Interest relating to installment sales and lease liabilities increased to 17 million from 8 million as a result of capital expenditure incurred during the current and prior periods. The tax charge is impacted by the recognition of a deferred tax asset of 36 million relating to a portion of the assessed loss of the South African trading entity. Profit after tax for the period increased to 77 million compared to the 51 million for the prior period. With respect to discontinued operations, the loss for the period of 29 million includes a fair value adjustment of 12 million and a foreign exchange loss of 9 million. The profit for the period for total operations improved significantly to 48 million, resulting in total earnings per share of 29 cents. The statement of financial position. During the period, the group acquired plant and equipment of 78 million, of which 24 million was financed. Depreciation of 70 million was recognized due to capital expenditure in the current period and prior financial year. Contracts in progress marginally increased from 595 million to 624 million and include materials on site of 202 million. Debtors days increased to 79 days, predominantly due to a specific project linked to milestone invoicing. Funds are received in line with contract terms. With respect to the disposal of SS Mozambique and Stefano Stocks Construction, as previously announced, the group entered into various agreements to dispose of its entire shareholding for $3.9 million USD, payable by 31st December 2025. In addition, the purchaser must advance a total of 6.1 million USD to enable SS Mozambique to repay the group a trade liability of 113 million rand. Of this advance, 2.5 million and 3 million USD were received in August and October 2025 respectively. As the sale was not yet effective on 31st August, the receipt of 2.5 million USD is included within bank balances and deferred proceeds of continuing operations. Furthermore, the purchaser advanced a working capital loan of 3.5 million USD to support operations. The transaction is progressing in line with the announcement released on SENS on 9 July 2025. Non-current assets held for sale and disposal groups of 581 million predominantly relates to SS Mozambique. The liabilities associated therewith amount to 395 million and includes the working capital loan of 3.5 million USD. On the liability side of the statement of financial position, the reduction in interest-bearing liabilities is attributable to the repayment of installment sale agreements of 36 million. Included within current liabilities is the current loan of 849 million, which has been refinanced with the Standard Bank facility as mentioned earlier. Trade and other payables increased from 1.1 billion to 1.2 billion, reflecting an increase in creditors' days from 27 to 34 days. Excess billings over work done increased marginally to 1.3 billion, which includes material on site of 139 million. There was a slight decrease in provisions from 929 million to 880 million. Analyzing the statement of cash flows, the cash flow statement is presented for total operations. The increase in trade and other receivables and reduction in excess billings over work done for discontinued operations resulted in a working capital outflow of 239 million, negatively impacting cash consumed by operations. Net investment income of 65 million, together with taxation paid of 42 million, contributed to a net cash outflow from operating activities of 146 million. Investing activities includes an inflow of 10 million from the disposal of property, plant and equipment and 54 million relating to capital expenditure. Included within other investing activities is 44 million relating to the first installment received from the purchaser with respect to the disposal of the Mozambican operation. Financing activities includes the working capital loan of 61 million received from the purchaser for the Mozambique operation and repayments of debt of 62 million. Consequently, the group's cash position decreased to 336 million. I would like to give guidance for continuing operations for the next 6 months. Inland region, we expect an increase in contract revenue and operating profit, including the recognition of the Kusile Power Project settlement. Coastal region, we expect a slight reduction in contract revenue and operating profit margin. Western Cape region, we expect a significant increase in contract revenue with a similar operating profit margin. Africa region, we expect a significant increase in contract revenue and operating profit, typical of a building operation. For corporate services, similar costs expected as currently reported. Further to the guidance given, I would also like to illustrate the financial impact on the statement of financial position. Assuming the Kusile Power Project settlement was received and the Standard Bank financing facility was implemented on 31st August 2025, the following categories within the financial statements would have been impacted. This slide reflects the recognition of the Kusile Power Project settlement of 580 million, less associate costs and income tax. This contributes a once-off increase in earnings per share of 296 cents, as well as a 496 million improvement to the group's net asset value. The effect of any potential interest saving on a capital repayment towards the loan is excluded from this analysis. As mentioned earlier, the group settled its current loan with the lender group on 31st October 2025. 743 million of the Standard Bank facility is classified as a non-current liability and 107 million as a current liability, representing the capital portion repayable within the next 12 months. Should a capital payment of 500 million be made, the outstanding capital on the facility would reduce to 350 million, resulting in lower installments over the remaining term of the facility. Furthermore, the current liabilities versus current assets shortfall will improve from 1.2 billion to 460 million. In conclusion from my side, the Kusile Power Project settlement and Standard Bank facility will impact the group going forward as follows. Improved after-tax profit and earnings per share due to the reduced interest payable on the loan. Significant reduction in total borrowings, thereby strengthening the statement of financial position, and converting short-term funding to a long-term loan, improving the group's liquidity. I will now hand back to Russell.
Thank you, Yolanda. I would now like to highlight the following industry-related matters. There continues to be a lack of public sector infrastructure spend in South Africa. Should this improve, it will benefit the group. The Employment Equity Amendment Act was enacted on the 1st of January 2025, excluding the ministerial sector targets and accompanying regulations. Following consultations with various economic sectors in February 2025, the Department of Employment and Labour published final sector targets and regulations on the 15th of April 2025, rather than issuing draft versions for further public comment. This approach has raised concerns among industry stakeholders, including our industry association SAFSEC, as it was without meaningful consultation or supported by scientific data. Several stakeholders have initiated legal proceedings challenging these targets. The group will endeavour to comply with the Act. Opportunities exist in the following sectors: water, wastewater, renewable energy, data centers, mining, marine, road and rail infrastructure. We will maintain a disciplined and focused approach in the pursuit of new opportunities that best suit the group's competence, thus enhancing our ability to execute the order book profitably. We have dedicated teams within each region to drive digitization and maximize the use of the latest technology to enhance our operational performance. The group's focus remains on operational performance, leveraging our unique multidisciplinary offering, which is proving to be both beneficial and attractive to our clients. We are having good success with our design and construct capability, and we are looking to grow this speciality. Now that we have concluded the restructuring plan, we look forward to a normalized trading environment. This brings us to the end of our presentation. Yolanda and I are now available for any questions. Thank you.